Hello, my name is Josh and I'm a watchaholic. Welcome to Horology Insanity.
What is up, my watch friends? So check this out. Today, I want to take a look at this amazing watch and say welcome to anyone who's coming over from the Random Rob channel. I recently did a Random Rob collab video where I submitted a short segment to him to post on his channel, and the topic of that video was, what is our favorite watch? Or along the lines of what in your collection gets the most wrist time. And for me, it was a no-brainer. In fact, I was wearing this when I filmed it. I had to take it off and it was hard. He wanted us to submit only like a minute-long segment, and I could talk for days about this watch probably, but I'll try not to here. We'll try to keep this succinct. And a big congrats to Random Rob on hitting 50,000 subscribers. Man, that's just such a huge milestone. I can't even fathom what that's like as I sit here with my little channel and I get ready to celebrate 500 subscribers. 500 compared to 50,000. So back to this watch. Now, this is the GW-M5610BA. And in the little bit that I looked into this watch, I think this might have been like a JDM model or a Japanese domestic model. I ordered it off of eBay and it probably got shipped to me from Japan, but there are other options out there if you want to look at buying online. I'll try to roll in some screenshots of various places where you can even still find this watch today if you want to. And the most important part, in my opinion, to making this my favorite watch is this V1 Combi bracelet. Now, way back in my early channel days, I did a combi video where I compared this to the V2, to the AliExpress model. And so if you haven't seen that video, let's link it right up here. Go ahead and check that out if you want to learn more about these bracelets. I need to make an update video to that video because now that I've had some long-term use of this bracelet and of the other bracelets on several different watches that I have, it could do for an update. I can share some news. I can share some things that I've learned along the way, but this is a significant reason as to why this is my favorite watch. And so while this watch in and of itself is amazing, it's really this combo that I love so much. And so what I normally do on my channel is I try to do, well, I do a couple unboxings. I don't do a ton of them. If y'all love unboxings, put it down in the comment section and maybe I can do more of them. I really only try to do unboxing segments when it's a unique watch or a rare watch or maybe something that I have long anticipated getting and I want to be able to film my initial and gut reaction when I see it for the first time. So aside from that, I don't really do unboxing videos. In addition, I am not trying to be a watch review channel. And if I'm honest, I'm not a watch review channel. There are some people that do amazing watch reviews, and I would highly recommend go checking out those channels. I want to be a watch hobby and enthusiast channel. That's what I want to be. And it's going to include everything that I can possibly go and partake in this beautiful and wonderful hobby. But with that, you will also notice on my channel that I do some not a review segments. And those are my half-hearted attempts at trying to do a review, even though that's definitely not where my heart lies. I don't usually ask for people to like and subscribe and do all of that other stuff. However, this is kind of an exception to that, and I'd love it if you wanted to subscribe to the channel and follow along. Additionally, I would go look at my playlist tab because there you'll be able to see either by watch brand or watch type or just other thematic stuff within this hobby that you might be able to enjoy. And those videos might be a consolidated playlist or a way for you to experience what I've experienced in this hobby. I've once heard it said that a smart man learns from his mistakes, but that a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. And so part of this channel is me sharing what I've done, especially where I've had some mistakes and other things, so that you can learn and compare my experiences to your circumstances, and then you might be able to decide if it's something that you can learn from me or not. All right, now back to this beautiful blue G-Shock Square. Let's do a quick not a review segment. from side to side here, it measures at like 43.5. Lug to lug, I don't know, it's not huge. You could see that it doesn't sit up tall on the wrist. I want to say that it's maybe 12 or 13 mil tall, but it really has a nice compact and square shape. And in fact, it's because these kind of look like a square that these are called the G-Shock squares. And they make a ton of these things. And in fact, here in the next video, I'm going to show you a bunch of them because I'm going to compare this to others. Now, today I happen to be wearing the Combi, and this is another square. And so I think there are a lot of people out there that collect G-Shocks, but then there's also a sub community of those that collect a specific type of G-Shock. I have more than just these squares, but I will say the predominant model in my collection are these 5600, 5610 G-Shock squares. And then of course we've also got like the 5000 series with the titanium camo and all the other metal ones. I have tons of videos about all of those other watches and the metal ones and their AliExpress kits. So again, go look at the G-Shock playlist and you'll be able to see all of those. But my not a review, this thing is simple. It's got solar, it's got atomic, it's got whatever. It's got all of the functionality that you might need. Now I will say some of that is what makes this watch so awesome. So in addition to it being on this V1 Combi bracelet, which makes it so comfortable to wear, it's very lightweight, coming in, I don't know, around 100 grams total, which is pretty lightweight to just be able to throw on and go. It's always accurate because it syncs with the atomic time. And as long as you give it a little bit of sunlight, you never have to worry about it cutting off or running batteries. Now, there is an option on these for you to do a power save mode, and I do use that. What happens is when you're not using it, it will kind of go to sleep. And then when you pick it up and the screen will kind of look blank and it'll look like it's dead, but it's not. You just kind of give it a shake or whatever, or press one of the buttons and it'll go ahead and light up for you. Now, you'll notice down here in the bottom right-hand section that it does have a power meter, and I don't know about y'all, but all of mine live on medium. Like, the low is not very long lasting. So if it gets to low, get that puppy in the sun quick. But even when I've left it out in the sun and gotten a full charge, it only stays on high for like an hour or two. And then it lives on medium for about 90% of the rest of the battery life. All the other functionality is the same. I mean, you can toggle through the settings and it's got everything that you might think of. You know, world time, you can put a second time zone in there. It's got a bunch of alarms, stopwatch. I don't even know what that is. I think it maybe is a countdown timer. And then back to this. Now, the other cool feature that it has is the auto light, and I love this feature. I keep it on all of my G's, but let me go ahead and zoom in right here. Do you see, if I can hold it real still, do you see where it says AEL, right? That, I think, is where it's talking about the auto illumination. And you can see that the received up in the upper left-hand window tells me that it did sync with the atomic clock at some point. PS stands for power saver mode up there in the top left. You can currently see the time and date really clear. It gives you the AM PM indicator because I do not use the 24-hour clock or the military time type stuff. I just use normal 12-hour time. It currently has daylight saving time on, and there's options for that. When you actually go in to set this, you're going to have all kinds of functionality, and you set it just by holding this upper left-hand button. Oh, if I can get it, these small buttons. There it goes. And so you can see here, I'm in time zone, on for DST, 12-hour. You can set the actual date and time. We'll keep flipping through these. Power savers on, I leave that on. And there you go. Now, to get, and then you can turn it off by hitting that button again. To get the auto light to turn on and off, up here in the upper right, you want to press down the light button and hold it, and boop, you see that disappears. And so now the light will only turn on if I hit this button. But when I press it and hold it down again, you'll see that it comes on. And so now what happens is it has a tilt sensor in it. So anytime I do like that, which would, it's kind of like, here, let me zoom out real quick. Okay, what it's trying to do is it's trying to mimic me taking my arm and doing like this to tell the time. And then it'll power up. But let's turn off the lights. It never focuses well for me. You can see all the loom in the background. There it goes. So you see how I just tilt it up and it comes into focus. If I do the Combi, it lights up as well. And so that's what we're talking about, automatic functionality. Now, one of the reasons that I use it is just because it uses more battery, but I don't mind that because it's solar, I just keep them charged. And I like the visibility function. I like the functionality of it, especially on the negative displays. Like I'll show you in the next video, I've got all these negative displays, and honestly, like right now, I don't think you can tell the time on that. I can barely tell the time on that. Not all negative displays by G-Shock are created equal, and so I will do another video where I just look at all of the different modules that I have in my massive collection, and I try to determine or show you the difference between the negative displays and how clear some are and some aren't, and in different light, that kind of stuff. But when you're wearing a negative display, I found that the auto light really helps, because when the light comes on, you can actually read the time, where it was otherwise a little bit difficult to read. But the beauty of this 5610BA is that it's got this beautiful kind of a blue hue to the positive display, and it is so easy to read. Now, y'all also know I am a huge fan of blue. Like, I absolutely love blue. And sometimes I've thought about selling all the watches in my collection except for my blue ones, but then I could never get rid of like the green Alpinist and that pink L'Oreal. Okay, well, I just love all kinds of watches, but out of them all, blue is my favorite. You can see the blue Christopher Ward right there and the blue Feynman. But that's one of the reasons why I gravitated to this one, because I love the little blue accents on here. I love the blue hue of that kind of positive display. And overall, this thing is just a joy on wrist. So with that, we'll call this one a wraps. The next video, I will do a bunch of comparisons where I look at this side by side to a bunch of other G-Shocks that I like, but that have some distinct differences. And so I can show you by putting them side by side why this one stands out to me all the more. And hopefully y'all enjoy that. All right, my friends, until we talk again, please remember what really matters, and that's not watches. And keep the insanity sane.